Hello. Hi, everyone. Hello. Welcome. Come on in, everybody. It's so good to see you. Welcome. How are you guys tonight? Let's do some solid homeschool Q&A. Hello, welcome. Come on in. Let's talk homeschooling tonight. I'm here to answer all of the questions that you have that I possibly can about homeschooling. Hi, welcome. Come on in. Homeschool Q&A. I'm Christy-Faith. It's so good to see you. I want to encourage you tonight in your homeschooling journey. Are any of you struggling right now with your homeschooling? Hello. I know it is freezing. I am in Denver. It was so freaking cold today. I know, Kristen. Hi, it's good to see you. How are you? Did you have a good homeschool day? Hello, everybody. Come on in. How was your homeschool day today, ladies? Have you hit any roadblocks? Have you guys come across any curriculum that is just not working for you? Oh, look, I already got a heart. Oh, my goodness. Look at all of you guys coming in. This is crazy. I am here for you guys. Let's talk homeschooling. I want to encourage you and mentor you tonight. I want to bless you guys in your homeschooling journey. And oh, good. We love, in fact, there's 2 dads in my homeschool community. I love it. Hello, welcome. This is Homeschool Q&A. I can talk about any topic you want, though. Becoming optimal. Is there a particular topic that you want to talk about tonight? Let me know. Oh, yeah. South Carolina raining. Oh, yeah. Hi, Maurice. You don't know about homeschooling? Well, you could stay around and learn about it. Yeah. If you want to, or maybe you want to consider homeschooling your own kids. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hi. Yes, I'm on YouTube tonight. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. And what else am I on? TikTok?
Yep.
Yeah. Hi, welcome. Come on in. Welcome. I'm Christy-Faith, and I am a homeschool mentor. I make homeschooling content. I have been in education for over 20 years. I supported the system for my entire career before I had my own awakening, which was really crazy because I ended up leaving that particular career to pursue home education for my own children. But I have taken my knowledge from the educational world and I have applied it to mentoring homeschooling moms. So, hello. Books for social studies this year, not loving it. Oh, you have master books. Okay. Jennifer, hi. You know what I use for social studies is I use Beautiful Feet books. Have you looked at them at all? They're a living books approach, but let me know if you like a living books approach to history. If you don't, I can suggest some other things, but that's how I do. I have a master's degree in history, and I won't touch a textbook. I just think textbooks are how history just dies for our children. So we read a ton of living books, beautiful literature, biographies, just well-written, beautiful books. And that's what we do for history. Have you looked into that at all? There is Beautiful Feet books. Another great history curriculum is Ambleside Online. A great history curriculum is The Good and the Beautiful, also Simply Charlotte Mason. Those are all kind of living book approaches to history. Yeah, do we have questions already?
We have so many questions.
Hi, everybody, come on in. I was just helping a mama with history. Now, you guys know that I personally use Beautiful Feet books, but that's not going to be a fit for everybody. So I can suggest any other things that might be a fit for you as well. Okay?
It's Miss Ferris
Hi, Miss Ferris.
Instagram said, master books, no go. Good and the Beautiful, amazing.
Yes, people love The Good and the Beautiful. What I will say about The Good and the Beautiful is, because I have used their history, I don't anymore. I use Beautiful Feet books instead. I love their curriculum, but I didn't love every read aloud. That's just my personal opinion. So I'm letting it rip tonight because I'm feeling it. So, but The Good and the Beautiful is great, and they have different cycles, and I will say The Good and the Beautiful does history the way I like history to be done, and I do have a master's degree in history. It is not a textbook approach, and so that is wonderful. Hello, come on in, you guys. Ask your homeschooling questions.
Shelby.
Hi, Shelby.
Penberthy over on IG says, I'm struggling with the decision to go back to public. Why? I'm keeping my son interested in staying on task and excited about homeschool. I like online, but sometimes I feel I need to incorporate some outside stuff.
Okay, hold on. Can you block the gin boy?
Okay.
And then ask your question again, because I was distracted by the person that's trying to take over the live.
She's trying to keep the son staying on task and excited about homeschool. She doesn't know what she needs to incorporate though.
Okay, he's currently homeschooling. I'm so sorry. I want to answer your question. I just got a little bit distracted. Yeah. You know, I love America too, but we're going to talk about homeschooling tonight. And I'm going to mentor mamas who need their questions answered.
Okay.
Can you ask that again, babe? I'm so sorry.
She's having a hard time keeping her son staying on task.
Is she homeschooling right now?
Yes, she's homeschooling right now.
Okay.
She likes online, but sometimes feels the need to incorporate outside stuff. Maybe
okay.
Partly online.
Okay, yeah. You know, what grade is he?
I don't know. Shelby, can you tell us?
Yeah, Shelby, what grade is your son in? And let me know what curriculum you are using. Are you feeling like you're not doing enough? Or are you, because you're saying you're feeling pressure to bring in outside stuff. I'd love to know what you're currently doing for your homeschool and what curriculum that you're using. I'll wait for you to answer. What do I think about K-12? So K-12, so there's 6 different styles of homeschooling. And K-12 falls into the category of traditional homeschooling. What traditional homeschooling is replicating public school methods at home. It's just literally like a carbon copy. It's just that your kid is not in the classroom environment. Traditional homeschooling is a choice for a lot of families. There are very good reasons to be a traditional homeschooler. Generally speaking, though, when parents are in the homeschool trek for the long haul, meaning this is really a passionate choice for the family, they generally don't stay with a traditional method. Why? It really burns kids and parents out. It can. Those curriculum programs where you buy that entire package and your kid is on a screen all day, doing hours and hours of work, it can get really exhausting. It also is not particularly the most enjoyable way to learn. However, there are solid reasons to do a traditional approach in your homeschool. One is if you're homeschooling temporarily and you want to matriculate your child back into the traditional school system, that is an excellent reason to choose a traditional approach like a box curriculum or something like that, like K-12. And then you also could be a brand new mom with a lot of insecurities, maybe a lot of family pressure around you that that family or you want to make sure you're hitting all of the marks and you're meeting all of those state standards and all of that. If you're concerned about state standards, traditional homeschooling is the way to go. The other 5 styles of homeschooling, we are off the train. Like we don't buy into that system. We don't care about state standards. Our values, our educational values are different. And so we don't care. And that's basically the other 5 styles of homeschooling. But there are valid, really great reasons to be a traditional homeschooler. What I have found just in my own personal experience is that parents and kids do tend to burn out on those programs, and they generally can give up on homeschooling or they make changes. So yeah. Did anyone here start with a traditional program, maybe an online program, and then ended up having to make adjustments? I'd love to hear your story. Hi. Oh, good. I'm so glad you're having a good time tonight. So am I. You guys grab your coffee. Let's sit back. Let's enjoy each other and let's connect and let's answer your homeschooling questions.
Amber Jones, first
Hi, Amber.
year here with girls in 5th and kindergarten. I struggle the most with feeling like I'm not good enough.
Oh, Amber. Oh, my goodness. And it's your first year homeschooling? Oh, man. Would you consider joining my group? I would love to have you in my community. We have a lot of first year homeschool mamas in there. If you want information about my homeschool community, which is a private community where we homeschool our kids together, and I meet with you guys on Zoom, and it's a pretty serious mentoring program, you can check that out in my bio. But I want to help you tonight, and I want to help you right now. Everyone feels like they're worried about failing their kids and that they're not going to do it right, or they're not going to be enough, or they're not going to do enough. The reason why we have those worries is because we know the school system is the school system, and we know that's not the right fit for our kids. And we know we want to be over here. But over here is not really defined. So it's very easy for homeschooling moms, especially brand new ones, to have feet in both worlds. Like, I know I don't like that, but I want to be over here. But while I'm trying to be over here, I'm still comparing myself. I'm still comparing what we're doing to over there. And that process of setting yourself free, the technical term for it is called deschooling. It's a heavy emphasis in my community because in order for me to help you guys be free in your homeschooling journey and confident, we have to deschool ourselves. We have to. We have to be confident in, no, my kid doesn't need to know all of those facts in the 4th grade. I would rather my kid fall in love with Shakespeare. That is more valuable over here. Now, over here, we can be highly academic. My kids start Latin in 3rd grade. I am highly academic, but I'm not on this hamster wheel of this industrialized educational system of like, it's all about information in, information out, and kids just regurgitating. On Friday, the kid's getting the test. By Monday, the kid forgets everything. Like, that's what we're not doing. The issue, because I'm going to go a little bit deep here, but I know you guys are in it. You're in it with me. The issue is that we know we don't want that. What is over here, though? It's almost like we need to rebuild a house, but everyone's house looks different based on our own values and priorities. So like today in the group, we were on a Zoom today, and we were talking about like some of us are faith-based homeschoolers, some of us aren't. For some of us, our kids are college bound. For some of us, they're not. So the homeschool houses that we build for our kids, like the structure that we build for our kids, it looks different for everybody. And that's a beautiful thing because all human beings are different. When you think about it that way, you look at the public school system and you're like, why are they treating everybody the same? Not everybody's the same. But in the homeschool culture, we look at our kids. We look at what they need. We look at their gifts. We dive in. We see what their interests are and we go from there, right? Isn't that so exciting? And that's the deschooling process, highly emphasized in my community. If you have any questions about my community, you can ask me tonight, but we can go ahead and go with more questions.
Where is the community?
The community is in my link tree. You can get information. You can just click on that and get information. You don't have to like do anything. Just find out about it. Yeah.
There are so many questions tonight.
So many questions?
Overwhelming questions.
Ah!
So
let's try to get after it, girls.
Thank you for everybody. Miranda Jones Bradford, how do you deal with people quizzing your kid when you find out they're homeschooled?
Girl, do you have a coffee? Let's cheer. The quizzing of our kids. Can we just, society, like what, okay, here's what annoys me. Oh no, she's gonna go crazy. Why all of a sudden, when someone discovers that you're a homeschooler, all of a sudden they became experts in education? Like, that drives me up the wall. I'm losing my patience. And you know who bothers me the most? Pediatricians. There, I said it. Last night, there was a girl, a young woman on my live who was completely deflated because her pediatrician was treating her awfully and questioning her and probing her because she chose to homeschool. Like, people, have you looked at the statistics? 87% of peer-reviewed studies show that homeschool kids are healthier psychologically, socially, and emotionally. And you're worried about the homeschool socialization? Let's talk about what we all should really, the socialization we should really be concerned about. Because last I checked, 50% of girls in our public school system are sexually harassed. Bullying rates are through the roof. Depression, suicide, cyberbullying, all of that, our statistics have never been worse. But we're going to sit there and let you quiz my kid on the water cycle? Really? Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm kind of getting a little bit out of control. Sorry, ladies. Okay.
Okay.
I hope you don't mind.
Again, so many questions.
Okay.
Thank you. Gina Perez, I have 3 special needs kids. They need
Hi, Gina.
structure, so
Yeah.
we thought to try K-12.
And you know what, Gina? You just gave a really good reason to try a structured traditional program. That isn't, and then I forgot to mention that reason. If your kid needs a ton of structure, then yeah, you need a structured program, no doubt. You know your kid better than anybody else. I love that you added that. Thank you so much.
Wool and flax made.
Hi.
I struggle with knowing if I'm teaching him enough.
Yeah.
How do you know you're teaching enough? We're unschooling right now.
Good. Okay, you're an unschooler and you're worried about teaching your kids enough. I would first ask yourself, what standard are you holding yourself against? Because if you're, and this is what I don't know if you just hopped in, but the trouble and the struggle with us homeschooling moms, and this is a focus in my community that we're going to talk about a lot, is this deschooling process where us homeschool moms, we're straddling both worlds. We want to be over here in the good life where we're free, but yet we're still comparing ourselves to a system and a standard that we know is incredibly broken, but it's really hard to break free of it because we ourselves were educated in that system. That system is about 150-ish years old. And so we don't even know anyone else who really has been educated differently. What I will say is in the homeschool culture, we are reclaiming what an education is. That is, a lot of people in the classical and Charlotte Mason movement are doing that. That's why we're going back to teaching our kids Latin, the great books, critical thinking, logic, rhetoric. Logic is training your mind how to think. Rhetoric is training yourself how to effectively speak, communicate. And so that is how, with those components, that's how everyone was educated throughout history. This modern educational movement is only 150 years old, and it's really proving to fail. The majority of high school seniors in our public schools are not reading proficiently. If you want to check my statistics, go to nationsreportcard.com. It's not a homeschooling site. It's a site that rates the schools and does statistics on how well kids are doing in particular subject areas. It's called nationsreportcard.com.
Okay.
Let me take a sip of coffee. Come on in, guys. Ask your questions.
Black Gables Barndo. My daughter wants to homeschool 8th grade, and she wants to do college early.
Yeah.
What route can we do?
Oh my goodness. You can do so much. Most homeschoolers that I know, their kids are doing dual enrollment by like junior year. Absolutely. There's great options for you. And you can start with HSLDA. They're great at doing this. Another great website is College Prep Genius. Jean has kind of a track that you can follow for your homeschooled kids to know like what I should be doing each year to prepare my kids for college. But it saves a lot of money if you can do dual enrollment in high school. A lot of money because many homeschoolers graduate high school with an AA. That's awesome.
Yep. Kayla, what about
Hi, Kayla.
a child-led approach?
Yeah.
Started trying to do it all, and it burned us both out.
Yeah. You know what? And I'm glad you're doing a child-led approach after your burnout. I feel like when moms, it's so common for brand new homeschooling moms to overwork themselves and overwork their kids and get burnout. And unfortunately, a lot of moms give up and they put their kids back in school. When really what you need is like kind of a different approach. I would suggest that you explore the different styles of homeschooling. There are 6 different styles. You mentioned that you're doing unschooling. I don't know if you want to be doing unschooling, if that is a season for you. Is that a season for you right now? Or are you really embracing that philosophy? Have you been reading up on that? Good books to read are How Children Fail, John Holt. There's some great unschooling books out there. Yeah, so I'm not sure if that's just a season for you, but I'm glad you're doing that because you need to like detox from what you were doing. And homeschooling should be life-giving for you as well. And this is one of the reasons why I started my community is often it's very homeschooling is extremely child focused. And it should be. That's wonderful. We love our kids. We want to give them the best education possible. What's missing though in our community right now is that homeschooling can and should be life-giving for mom and dad too. It can and it should, and it can be wonderful for you as well. And so that's really the focus of our community. It's an adult only homeschool mentoring community. So that's what's just been fabulous about what's going on in there.
Yeah. Okay,
I
great.
hope I answered. Will you reply again if I didn't adequately answer your question? I don't want to. I don't want to leave you hanging tonight. Okay.
A lot of people have been asking, what was that college website? College prep.
Oh, College Prep Genius. It's in my link tree, you guys. College Prep Genius. Yep.
Emily, I don't know if you're going to go or not, but she asked if you can share a good day of homeschooling for 5-year-olds.
Oh, yes, I can. Well, tomorrow we're doing math, and then we're spending the rest of the day decorating for Christmas. Doesn't that sound like a good day? No, I know that's not what you asked for. That is what we're doing tomorrow. But yeah, a 5-year-old is in kindergarten. A 5-year-old is learning to read. 5-year-olds are also, they're not quite independent yet. The younger years in homeschooling, I believe, are really the most taxing on mom because your kids aren't independent yet. They can't find their own page, read the instructions, try it themselves, only come to you with questions. That comes at about 8 years old. 8, 9. I would say by about 5th grade, you can have your child largely independent in their homeschooling. Not that you're abandoning them, but that you have listed like, this is what you're doing. This is what you do every day. Or if our days don't look the same all 5 days of the week. Like we only do history twice a week. We only do science twice a week. So, but the days are scheduled out. And but for a 5-year-old, you're just a really lovely morning time would be wonderful for a 5-year-old where you're snuggled on the couch and you're reading out loud beautiful picture books. Maybe you're reading some poetry, asking your 5-year-old to close his or her eyes and to picture what the poem is saying. Maybe even listening to classical music, reading about a composer, all this with picture books, nothing super academic, but really igniting this fire, this love for learning. 5-year-olds, math, of course, reading, phonics, handwriting, spelling. History, but in a fun way, history through picture books, like with Beautiful Feet books, something like that. And gentle science in the elementary years, I generally do all of my science as nature study. There's so many years of hard sciences that my kids don't need it in their early years. We can just study our world, study nature because it's so cool. And it also is really great because it's tangible. It's right outside our kids' doors. They can gather sticks, gather leaves, build things, talk about leaves and all of that stuff. So,
Great.
5-year-old. Example of a 5-year-old day. Oh, I love homeschooling kindergarten.
So many questions. We're just doing our best to get to them. There's just so many
great
questions. Ariel Hodge over on YouTube. Do you have a checklist for first-time moms? I find myself overwhelmed with the steps to take.
Okay, so Ariel on YouTube, go to my link tree. Does YouTube have a link tree?
It does.
Okay, go to my link tree. I have a 26-page free how to homeschool guide. It's totally free and it's 26 pages. And it goes a little bit further than just like how to start. Like I go into loop scheduling in there. So if you are a mom on here who's never heard of loop scheduling, go grab that guide. It's totally free. There's nothing, no strings attached. Grab that guide just to learn and be introduced to what a loop schedule is. That would be really helpful for everybody. They're very freeing. Okay.
Great.
There's so many questions. We're trying to get to everybody.
Um, with Hope and Coffee, Danny says that lipstick is fire.
Thank you. It's my new red. Do you like it? Thank you. I needed new lipsticks and I saw this red and it was like a holiday red. And I was like, I am in it, man. Thank you. You're so sweet. I like lipstick.
Let's see.
Thank
Jacqueline
you.
Miller, thoughts on deschooling?
Yes, deschooling. Okay, you guys, double tap if you are interested in learning about what this deschooling process is. It's a very hot term right now in the homeschooling world. Deschooling never ends. This is what I will say. It never ends. It's like a continuum because we don't know anything different. But basically deschooling is kind of like the best word for it is deprogramming. So we are asking ourselves when we are deschooling the really good questions. What is an education? How does our school system define what an education is? Do I agree with that definition? What is important to me? Does the system support what is important to me? These are the questions you ask, and you tell yourself the truth constantly when you are deschooling yourself. Because you are hearing from everywhere in society that the way that you're doing it is wrong. And, oh, does your kid know these facts, or does your kid know that, or the periodic table, or this or that or the other? And we're over here screaming like, hey, no. An education is the cultivation of a human being. Like, I have failed. If I could graduate the smartest kid in the world, and if he doesn't have empathy, what have I built? What have I created? Frederick Douglass is famous for saying, it's easier to, okay, what is it? It's easier to, I got to remember it. Something like it's harder to repair broken men than to raise them right. Oh, darn it. Anyway, I have the quote somewhere, but I was just rereading it the other day and I was like, that is such a good quote. Something about how it's harder to repair broken men than to raise them. I'm sorry, I'm messing it up. But anyway, if you look up Frederick Douglass, it's a really beautiful quote. And then the ancients they talked all the time. I'm talking like Aristotle, Socrates, all those guys in the ancient world. They talked about education not being the filling of a bucket. That's not how the ancients defined education. They defined education as the igniting of a fire. Isn't that interesting to think about and chew on? Asking these questions, that is what deschooling is. And you keep doing it until you believe yourself. Honestly, we do a lot of that in my community, a lot of it, because we're all trying to build these houses for our families, and all of our houses look different, but we know it's not going to be what's over there in the traditional school system. So, okay, next question.
Yeah, just so many people asking for help.
Okay.
Okay, so Jamie Ashbury.
Hi, Jamie.
Oh, she'd love to join your group.
Okay, Jamie. Yeah, I would love to have you. If you are doubting yourself, worried that you're not good enough, that your kid's not on the right track, or how do I even know if I'm on the right track? If you need mentoring by me, consider joining my group. It's in founding members phase right now. It's in my link tree. It's the first button that you push. I just opened it. I'm going to close it December 15th. What I'm doing right now is I'm gathering founding members, and we are getting in and we are working together to build a really great foundation. And then I'm closing it December 15th so that we can work out the kinks together, really bond with each other. And then in the spring, after Christmas in the spring, I'm launching the group at full price, where it's like the real group. Okay, so right now is like the founding members where you're coming in and we're kind of fumbling around together and we're defining what we want this group to be. Now, it offers a lot because what I'm doing with the founding members in the beginning is I'm doing tons of FaceTime with me. Um, Basically like giving away hundreds and hundreds of dollars of my consultation time for free to make sure that these founding members get bang for your buck in the very beginning, because it's not entirely structured yet. But as a result, we're already really connecting with each other and we're building a super strong community and we're deschooling ourselves together. And it has been wonderful. I have people joining all the time. So you can look at my link tree to find out what that's all about. And it's half price right now because you are agreeing to be a founding member, which means, okay, like for example, my Zoom today in my group, I kind of went over some of my group rules and we were talking about things. And I told the group, like, this is a perfect example of being a founding member. In the spring, this will be a really fancy schmancy PowerPoint, but right now it's not. Right? We're just talking through it. So it's still amazing value. It's just not polished yet. And so that's kind of what you do when you start with a group of founding members. But as a result, we're really going to connect with each other. And I'm going to close the doors on December 15th. So check it out on my link tree or not. You can just ask me questions on my live and I'll try to get to everybody.
Ren, can we do it if our kids aren't homeschool aged yet?
Yes, we have quite a few moms today that joined. They've joined, but they were on the Zoom today. They want to prepare themselves for homeschooling. It's the perfect place for you. The perfect place to learn. Because here's the thing, you guys. Even if we're in an office hours with me and a mom comes in and she has all these high school questions. How do I get my kid ready for the SAT? How do I do college admissions? And I'm coaching that mom through that but your kid is maybe only in 5th grade. It's so valuable for you to be able to vision, okay, what does this look like if I want to do this through high school? So yes, amazing time for you if your kids aren't quite at homeschooling age, but keep in mind, you start homeschooling when your kid's 3. That's when you start preschooling. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, check that out, you guys.
Audrey Donovan. Oh, before I do that, my girl's turning 11. Am I a little too late to homeschool?
No, you're not. In fact, my friend Katie today, she was in the group and she pulled her boys. This girl is a rock star. She pulled a high schooler and a junior high boy out of school. Oh, were they kicking and screaming at first? And she just said, no, I know this is what's best for you. You're not grown yet. You will see, and you won't yet, but you will see. Oh my goodness, she is so thankful for her decision. And she told me last year, she goes, Christy, I know this seems small, but I get more hugs. We're just closer. She goes, that alone has been so worth it. It's just changed our relationship. They're just nicer kids. And I loved hearing that. But I mean, even just the other, so no, I would argue. So you guys know I've been in education for 20 years. My specialty, I taught junior high and up. That was my specialty. Those were the kids that I worked with personally, mainly. And one of the things that was part of my deconstruction was seeing what was happening in our high schools. I would argue, and I might in my book, because I'm writing a book right now, I would argue that the high school years are the most important years to homeschool. I don't think our kids are ready for the social pressures, the bullying, the unhealthy sexual behaviors that happened and are acceptable in high school. And that's not a political statement. I'm talking more about just like unhealthy promiscuity and stuff like that. It's just not healthy for young kids to be doing those behaviors. So anyway, I'll stop there, but I think that junior high, 11 years old, absolutely not. Like, you can do that. And A mom joined the group yesterday who is homeschooling her 7th grader. She's scared half to death. And I was like, look, no, we have time. We'll hammer out a curriculum plan with you. We will get this done and we'll make it be a fit for you, no problem. And so that's kind of the stuff that we do in the group, if you're interested.
Megan Van Sype asks, is the group still valuable if we've been homeschooling a long time, 7 years?
Oh, Megan, yes. And would you text me, email me? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to hear more about you. Would you text me? Okay. Or email me. Maybe that's better to email me. That's an easier click.
Somebody's asking, what do I do to join?
What do you do to join the group? You go to my link tree. It's right at the top. We're in founding members only. That means you are part of the very first group where we're going to be working out the kinks together. I have it open right now. I'm closing it December 15th. No one will be allowed to join. Even if they offered me $1 million, I will say no after December 15th. Because we're going to be getting our heads down, really bonding together with this initial founding group so that we have an amazing foundation for when the group officially launches in the spring. So being a founding member is not a fit for everybody, you guys. You have to be willing to work out kinks, watch me fail. Like we just in the group yesterday, we were trying to figure out a Zoom time. Like in the spring, all the Zoom times will be set. And they'll be perfect. But right now we have one set Zoom time, but we're trying to figure out when the best second Zoom time is for homeschool moms. It's stuff like that you just have to be willing and helpful and not mean because we're just working out the kinks together. But at the same time, what I will say is I have advised parents for over 20 years. I can do this blindfolded. It's just the group aspect that you would have to be patient with in forming this group. We're going to have monthly workshops with themes. December's theme is how to thrive during the holidays and not just survive. So we're going to be giving super practical tips, tricks, and strategies to make the homeschool December Advent season a really peaceful season for you so you don't get stressed out. That's December's theme that starts on the 7th. So those are and then like in February or on March, our theme will be homeschool burnout. Like that's the time of year that we're all exhausted. And the last thing we want to do is homeschool our kids. That's the theme. How do we breathe life back into our homeschooling? It's very much focused on the parent, encouraging you, letting you know that you are enough, deschooling each other. I could go on and on. Just ask questions if you have questions because I want to get to your homeschooling questions. That's why I'm here tonight. If you're interested in the group, just click on my link tree. It's the very first button and it will give you all the information on how to become a founding member in the group, okay? All right, let's get to a homeschooling question.
Great. Megan Van Sype followed up with, I'm curious to hear what tipped the scale for you out of public school and into homeschool.
Megan, can we be best friends? See, I love your question. It was a lot. I had an awakening and a deconstruction. So it wasn't all at once. What I will say is what started my process of deconstructing and realizing this isn't what I want are the outcomes that I saw. So I don't know if you guys know my history, but we ran a boutique learning center in one of the most competitive markets in the nation, Los Angeles. And our clients were the rich and famous. There's no other way to say it. They were wealthy. There were no limits to resources whatsoever. They could provide their kids the best of the best. Their kids had the best tutors. They had the best quarterback coaches. They had the private this. They had the nannies. They had the cooks, all these things. You would think, and a lot of people do think this, like they think it in the diet world. Like if I had somebody cooking all my meals, I'd be skinny too. Like people say that. You would think with all the resources in the world to provide your kid everything they could possibly need, that the outcomes would be better. Wouldn't you think? I would. That's what I thought. And they're not. They're not. these high school kids were riddled with depression, really unhealthy behaviors. They hated learning. I can count on one hand how many kids I taught that really loved learning. To them, school was what you get through to get to the end, to get to a good college that I can graduate that college and then finally live my life. That's an entire childhood where they hate like the majority of their life. And I was starting to think to myself, why? Like, why has learning become such a negative thing to our kids? And that's what started the ball rolling. And I realized we're doing it all wrong. Just the system of grades inherently pits kids against each other and communicates to children that their worth is in their performance. I didn't want any of my kids to believe ever that their worth was in how they performed. Ever. And that's what these kids were chasing after. They needed the grades so they didn't get in trouble. And so they could get into a good college. And then they would get into that good college and then end up dropping out anyway because they didn't have the emotional stamina to stay. So to answer your question in a nutshell with all of that, I would say outcomes, poor outcomes is what started my deconstruction. Yeah.
Ren and Worthy of Love just joined the group.
Oh, welcome, Ren! Worthy of Love, you just joined the group. Yay! I can't wait to meet you. I will introduce myself to you tomorrow. I'm so glad you joined. Awesome.
Monica, we homeschooled
Hi, Monica.
for a few years in traditional and put my kids in public school. Now we're back to homeschool.
Good. Yay! Awesome.
Thoughts?
Oh, Mother Hustlers. Yeah, good. We should be best friends. This mindset.
Eyes asks, thoughts on part-time school and part-time homeschool?
Yes. Yeah.
That's an option in my country.
Yes, let's talk part-time homeschooling. Okay. I love it. I am a working homeschool mom. I don't do it, but I love it. I do something else. I outsource with live online classes for my kids when they get to a certain age. So I enroll my children in live classes with excellent teachers for foreign language and in the higher levels of math. I don't teach those myself. I teach the other things. And part of it is time, is that because I work as well. So cottage schools, enrichment days at schools where they're often called enrichment days or drop-off days or whatever. It's where you are a homeschooler, but you enroll your kid in a school for maybe 2 days of the week. And you drop them off in the morning and you pick them up at 3 p.m. and then you're homeschooling maybe the other days. There are these programs that do 2 days a week, that do 3 days a week. They're called all sorts of things: micro schools, cottage schools, enrichment days. There's no like regulation of names for these, but I actually like your term, part-time homeschooling. The benefit of part-time homeschooling is that often these programs, especially when your kid is there 2 to 3 days a week, they're doing the heavy academics there. And then basically they're giving the parent homework to do with your kid on the off days. I know many moms who probably wouldn't be able to homeschool if that wasn't the structure. So here's the thing about home education. We know what our family needs, and we get to decide and we get to craft that. I think someone else just joined the group. Hi, yay, I'm so glad.
Yeah, Lauren, Stephanie, and Angie just joined.
Lauren, Stephanie, Angie, yay! I can't wait to introduce myself to you tomorrow. I'm so glad you joined the group. I can't wait to meet you, learn about your kids, learn what your struggles are, and just get to know you. I'm so excited. I'm so glad you joined.
Kristen,
it's like pinch me. Like, this group has been such a long time coming. And I was really dealing with a lot of frustrations with TikTok. Do you guys want to hear this? Do you want to hear about my personal struggle? I won't. Let me know if you want to hear about my personal struggle, because I don't want to talk about me. I want to answer your questions. If you want to hear about my personal struggle and how it arrived at the group, I'm happy to share that. So, but you let me know in the comments because I won't tell you that story unless you ask. Okay. Yeah.
Kristen Bullion, how do you balance time with and without your kids?
Kristen. Mwah. Okay. Are you an introvert like me? I'm very curious if you are. So, Kristen, I have had to learn to set boundaries. Have you read that book, Boundaries? It's such a good book. And also, the book Boundaries with Kids is equally a really good parenting book. I set boundaries. So, I have times of the day where I tell my kid, like, I come up into my room, and honestly, sometimes I'm just scrolling on TikTok. But because that's what my brain needs, I need a break. I will have, where are they? Here they are. I have them here. I have my noise canceling headphones. I put these on. I'll often put white noise in my Spotify. Partially is one time during the day where I have my alone time. It's right after lunch and the kids are cleaning up lunch. And they play and they're loud and clanky when they're cleaning up lunch. And by that time of day, I'm pretty overstimulated. So I put these on and I put on like a white noise that's feeding into these so that it's just, and I'm alone in my room and I just have my time. So you can communicate and have a family where you all respect each other's boundaries. You have some kids that are extroverts and want to chit chat all day, and you have some kids that are introverts that just need their downtime. Hey, we are that way too. Like, we can't erase ourselves just because we homeschool. Now, this is the hard part. We're homeschooling because we love our kids so much, right? And it's very easy it's all about them and to forget about ourselves. And this is why the community is so important, is that homeschooling needs to be life-giving for us. We want a good life too, and you can have that. And then going back to what you said, part of that is setting healthy boundaries and having times of the day. I find for my own life, it's best if it's the same time every day so my kids can look at the clock, rather than me going, Mommy needs alone time, right? And then I'm kind of have an attitude. It's better if it's just a couple of set times per day where it's just, this is where we leave Mommy alone. This is Mommy's quiet time, or however you want to say it. That's how I've managed it. Okay, next question.
Yep. Erica asks, how do you feel about umbrella schools?
I use one. I use an umbrella school myself. I love them. They're great. Okay, so for those of you who don't know what an umbrella school is, it's basically a private school that you enroll in and you agree to some rules, like for your record keeping and submitting test results and stuff like that. And you pay them tuition. The umbrella school that I am in, I think it's $90 a year, and they don't add any money for siblings. It's just $90. It's so worth it because they remind me when I have to do my kids' test. So I live in Colorado and I have to test my kids with standardized testing every other year. That's also a myth. People say like, oh, homeschool parents just lie about their kids' academics. No, we don't. We have to give our kids the same tests and turn them into the government, just like at least in Colorado we do. In a lot of states you have to do that. So those homeschooling statistics on academics are very accurate. Okay, did I answer that question?
Yes.
Okay.
Ren is in Colorado in Aurora.
Oh, Ren, you're in Aurora. How awesome.
Melanie Vasquez asks, how can I pick out my own curriculum with Charlotte Mason, unit study, and classical methods?
Oh, easy, because those are very close. Those are very, very close. Look at the good and the beautiful. I feel like if you want to make things simple for yourself, that's a good route to go. Otherwise, you're going to be doing what I do. I don't know how long you've been homeschooling. I'm at the point now that because I know every curriculum, I pick, like I think I use 20 different curricula options depending on my kid's grade, what they're doing. Anyway, it can be a lot of work. Let me put it this way. It can be a lot of work and stress if you're not super familiar with the curriculum world to try to find the best of this, the best of that, because the best of this in 3rd grade might not be the best of this in 5th grade. So, but what I will say is a really safe bet, if those are where your heart is, Charlotte Mason, unit study, and classical, go look at the good and the beautiful. Yeah. I don't represent them at all. I don't have a coupon code for you.
Megan just joined the group.
Megan, welcome to the group. Yay. I'm so glad you joined. I can't wait to meet you. Awesome.
Missy lists,
Yay. Hi,
what
Missy.
if your kids are not interested in learning? I feel like public education has made them hate it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I am absolutely sure. You may need to have a period of deschooling. You really might need to do that. So that's something to consider and read up on what deschooling is. You need to reset. You need to, and when you, after you're, okay, so even though you've been homeschooling, download my 26-page How to Homeschool guide, because I have a section in there on deschooling that kind of coaches you through how to do it and how to exit that. So grab that. It's free. It's 26 pages. I also go into loop scheduling in there. So for those of you moms who have been homeschooling but have not tried loop scheduling, download the guide as well, because it's free and it explains loop scheduling in there. It's the How to Homeschool guide. Going back to that, when you are in your deschooling period, when you ease back into academics, if you are not an unschooler, if you are an unschooler, you're just going to stay there. If you're not an unschooler, you have to be careful how you get back into the academics. So that's something to keep in mind.
Okay, very cool. I had a question. Her name is I.
Oh, hi, I.
What do you think about co-ops?
I love co-ops. I've been a part of them. I love them. Yeah, they're great.
Yep.
So a great way to make mom friends, a great way for your kids to have friends and socialization. It's also good that your kids are doing the same stuff as the other kids, so they don't feel like the weirdos on the block that, oh, I'm the only kid that learns Latin, for example. Like, we've been in co-ops where all the kids are learning Latin, so it was like totally normal. That's why co-ops are pretty great.
Daisy Lop says, any book recommendations for girls' puberty about learning their body and stuff like that?
Oh, you know what I should do? No. My answer is no right now. A few books are coming to mind, but I'm not comfortable recommending them because I have not read them personally. But I would love more information on that. The books that I've read on bodies and stuff like that. I used to be certified in an anti-abuse. I was an instructor that was basically abuse prevention. And so a lot of the books that I recommend are like to help kids recognize if they're being abused, where their body, I don't want to get banned on the live. That's why I'm fumbling over my words, because I don't want to violate community guidelines. I taught abuse prevention. I know a lot about those books, but in terms of navigating with your daughter through puberty and her body changing, I don't feel like I have read enough books on that to recommend. Okay.
Amber Shante asks,
hi, Amber.
Is joining the group feasible for a working homeschool mom?
Yes.
I'm a teacher, so I work school hours. Does it make it difficult to be involved?
It will. So our Zooms are at noon. A lot of them are at noon because after school, we're all busy taking our kids to basketball and cheerleading and all of that. So most of our Zooms are during the day. So it might be hard for you. I think our second Zoom, we were talking today, is probably going to be around 2 p.m. Mountain. I don't know where you live. So our regular Zoom weekly is 12 noon Mountain. And then our second Zoom is going to be probably around 2 p.m. on another day. So it might be too difficult.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is a bummer. I would love to have met you. But that's okay. It's not for everybody. So this group it's serious homeschool mentoring. It's not yeah. And why do I have to charge? Well, because I should. That's why. I offer so much for free and I love doing it. I offer so much for free on lives. I do really educational TikToks. I have a book deal. I'm writing a book right now. I was approached by a publisher and asked to write a book. I'm writing the modern case for homeschooling. And the type of group that I wanted is one where we have a lot of deep connection and there's a lot of really solid mentoring happening in there that takes a lot of time. So it shouldn't be free. It shouldn't, and it's not. And so that's the other thing. Now it is half price right now in the founding members phase. When it opens up in the spring, it will be double the price. So because you are agreeing right now to be a founding member. So if you don't know what that means, you can ask me here on the live or you can go to the link on my link tree. Yeah.
Great. Okay. So we're pretty far over here.
Oh, we're over time already? Oh no, I wanted to answer more questions.
Well, I'll give you a couple more.
Okay.
Kelly, topic to add. Support for those
Yes.
that don't have a spouse fully on board.
Yes, Kelly! You're in the group.
Yeah.
Yes, you're so right. Wait, can we write that down? Darn it, I don't have a pen.
I got it.
And this is my phone, so I can't like write a note on my phone like this. Unsupportive, let's make that topic. Yeah, unsupportive. So in the group, we post on topics and we categorize all our topics, like secular curriculum, faith-based curriculum. I just added a topic today that was homeschooling only children, preschool, elementary. So we have all sorts of topics so we can categorize our discussions and easily search for them. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Great.
Someone wanted me to explain what a founding member is. Does anyone else want me to explain again what a founding member is? I'll let you answer and then
yeah.
Is there another
They wanted to know why you formed it too. So.
Oh, they wanted to know why I formed it. Okay, because I wasn't going to tell you unless. All right, so here's the story. I love TikTok. I find TikTok so fun. I love it. I love playing with it, and I also love giving really educational videos. And you guys know my entire career has been in education. I've been advising parents, advising principals, advising psychologists, for my entire career. And I get on TikTok, and I'm loving the content that I'm able to make, but at the end of the day, I can't dig deep. I can't dig deep on TikTok. There's an algorithm. You know, if you want your videos to be pushed out, there's rules. Like it has to be snazzy, or you have to use like a popular sound. And that's fun, and I don't mind doing that, but it's limiting for what my calling is. And it's truly a calling. And my calling is to mentor you guys and to equip you and to make homeschooling life-giving for you and to help you be secure in your decision and to know that you are enough. So I was feeling like, although TikTok was fun and I could take it this far, I couldn't go as far as I wanted in terms of really making relationships and helping you homeschool. You know, like moms will ask me, what math curriculum should I use? Well, I want to ask her 20 questions before, like, how does your kid learn? What grade are they in? What's your homeschooling style, right? Which you can't do that, like on a TikTok. The comment sections are kind of the same. You can't really do the deep connecting and mentoring in comment sections. And then we have these lives, which are awesome. But I want you guys to know, I don't see your names. Like, I see handles. Like, I see your TikTok handles. I don't know your kids' names. I don't know where you live, how many kids you have, how long you've been homeschooling. I don't know any of that. So I try to answer questions as best as I can without actually knowing you, if that makes sense. And so I had those 3 frustrations. And then in addition to that is I do offer consultations, but my consultations, not everyone can afford them. You know, a lot of families are single, it's one income families because you're homeschooling. And so that was frustrating to me that there are so many moms out there like you guys who need help and you need mentoring and you couldn't get it from me. Like, it was just eating me alive for a really long time. People brought to my attention, I think it started with some followers and then some other people in my life, and they said, Christy, have you thought about forming a group, forming a community, because it's a way that people can get access to you, FaceTime with you. You can bring in mentors. I have mentors in there already. You can bring in mentors to help you. And you can offer workshops and all of these things in this membership and make it really affordable. And so I started to think about that. But honestly, you guys, like, it was scary. It was like big and scary when I was researching how to do this. And, I'm a professional. I've been, in the workforce my entire career, very, very successful, but I hadn't done a community before. I know how to advise you guys, like on a Zoom, no question. But anyway, it was a little bit big and scary. And so I started to research and figure out, okay, how do you start this? Well, the safest way for me, what felt the most comfortable for me, is to start it with a founding members group. So technically, that is now. I'm keeping enrollment open until December 15th. December 15th. What a founding member is, it's like, okay, so the group is formed. We have our themes, our workshops. We're going to bring professionals in at no extra charge. Like, I'm going to bring in a therapist that's going to talk about what self-care really is, because what society tells us self-care is not what self-care is. I'm going to bring therapists in and different people that are experts in other areas. They're going to be brought in too at no extra charge. It's just part of your monthly fee. And but the thing about being a founding member is that the group, though it's awesome, is not perfect yet. It's not perfect. You would be agreeing to be working out the kinks with me, like Kelly just did. Like, oh, we need another topic, Christy. Like, yeah, like you would suggest that. Today during my my Zoom with the group, I let them know, like, eventually this will be a really snazzy PowerPoint, but right now you're just going to hear me talk and let me know what you think about it, right? And so that's what the founding member is. Because you are working out the kinks with me, your price is half. And your price will be half for as long as you are in the group. Just as a thank you for being willing to do this with me. And I might mess up like the first couple months. But the reason why I'm closing it on December 15th is because I don't want to onboard anyone new. I want to really dig deep and hammer out the details of what this group will be so that when we launch it at full price in the spring, it's phenomenal and amazing. So that is what a founding member is. You're basically just agreeing to be at the start with me for something that's going to be pretty amazing later, but it's brand new right now.
Diana just joined the group.
Hi, Diana. Oh, I'm so glad. Yay.
Monique wants to join the group. How do they do that?
To join the group, you go to my link tree and you click on the button. And then you can read about it first. Definitely read about it first. And click on that button and then you can join the group and I will meet you tomorrow. Yeah.
Monet Mania has a good question.
Hi, Monet.
What is your group about? I met one lady and hers was all about Christianity.
Yes, no. So my group is non-sectarian. I went through this today. Actually, I have my notes from my meeting today. So my group is called Thrive and it is non-sectarian. That means it is not secular and it is not religious. I do have one rule though. You are not allowed to be ashamed of what you are. Okay? And we respect what each other is in my group. So politics and religion are off limits in the group. But what is on limits is, hey, I'm a faith-based homeschooler. Does anyone know a really great science curriculum? Or, hey, I'm a secular homeschooler and I want an evolution-based science curriculum. Can anyone recommend something? Those types of things are completely on limits. So we are not ashamed of who we are, but we do not fight over who we are, right? So we are a non-sectarian group. We don't talk about politics. We don't talk about masks. We don't talk about vaccinations. We don't talk about sexual ethics either. We don't talk about that. There is so much to talk about, and there is so much we have in common. We don't need to. We don't want to do anything that divides us. We want to encourage one another. Let me tell you a story. I am really good friends with a homeschooler, a homeschool mom. Literally, we agree on nothing. We agree on zilch, politically, religious-wise, all of it. We are such good friends. We laugh together. We have the best time because what we do have in common is we both want what is best for our kids. And that is enough. And by the way, that's hard enough. It's hard enough. We don't need to bring all those yucky stuff into it. So the technical term for what the group is, it's called non-sectarian. It can't be called secular because that means nothing is religious. And it can't be called religious because that means nothing is secular. So it's neutral. We support each other. But I'm big on never apologize for who you are. I'm big on that. So, yeah.
Callie, we homeschooled
Hi, Callie.
1 year and are considering again, but aren't yet. Could this be for us?
Callie, absolutely. Yes. I would love to meet you and walk you through that decision. Absolutely.
Tiana.
Hi, Tiana.
My kiddo is about to go into kindergarten. I want to homeschool. Is this a good resource?
Yes, absolutely. Going into kindergarten?
Yep.
Absolutely. We had tons of moms. We have 2 homeschool dads, if you count Scott. Our other homeschool dad, he is in it to win it. He's such a cool dude. He does not mind hanging out with the ladies. He's awesome. Are you here tonight, Tyler? We love you, Tyler. Okay, but I got distracted with just how much fun we had today. So, but yes, so starting kindergarten, absolutely. A lot of moms in there their kids aren't quite homeschool age yet, so they're not homeschooling. They're in there to learn. Yes, we always want to be in community with moms who are ahead of us. Always. Otherwise, it's kind of like the blind leading the blind. The other great thing that's really important for homeschool moms. Okay, listen to this, you guys, because you need to evaluate this in your own life. Because even if my group is not for you, I want to encourage you to do one thing in your own personal life. Make sure that you have friends, supportive, really solid friends that are not connected to your kids' friends. Okay? There's a lot of reasons for this. That friendship with that other mom can end overnight if something happens, a dispute happens with the kids or whatever. The other reason is often, if our kid is struggling, if our kid has dyslexia or ADHD, and we really need help and support, we might not feel comfortable talking to our kid's friend's mom about it, right? We don't want our kid labeled. We don't want, word to spread. We don't want our kid defined by that. It's really important for you to have your own disconnected friendships with moms that your kids aren't friends with, okay? And I personally experienced, and it was really hard for me this year. I'm surprised I'm even going to mention it, but I will, is that we had to leave our church this year. And it was really, really hard because a lot of my son's friends were connected to that church. And overnight, it felt like he felt ghosted. It was really, really hard. And although it wasn't bad terms, your friendships just aren't the same. And so it was boom, overnight, because we had so many friends in that realm, we kind of felt like, oh, okay, all right. Well, luckily, I have really good friends totally not connected into my church. I have friends outside, old friends from co-ops, awesome friends all over the nation. And so I'm going to be okay. We're going to be okay. And we're going to rebuild at our new church. But what I'm saying is that's a real benefit to having a community like mine, like Thrive, is that we aren't in each other's real lives. And that anonymity, did I say that right? Is actually really good because we can be extra vulnerable. And I also have rules to ensure that this is a safe, non-judgmental place. There's some pretty strict rules, which I go over when I meet you the first time. I won't go over them now. Okay.
Diana and Victoria just joined.
Hi, Diane and Victoria. I can't wait to meet you. Yay! I'm so glad you're going to join the group. Or you already did. Yay!
Adeline, my kids want out of public school and want an accelerated version of high school.
Yeah. You can absolutely do that. Absolutely.
Chris, can I join even if my baby is only 1? Serious question.
Yeah, you absolutely can. Like I was saying earlier, it is so important for you to be in community with moms who are well ahead of you. I was mentioning earlier in the live, because like I'm gonna have office hours in the group where you guys come with like your burning questions. But I was telling the group today, if you don't have a question, I still want you to come, because if a mom is in there asking me and I'm advising her on how to do college admissions, how to prepare for the SAT, how do I make my kids' transcript? If you're a mom of only elementary kids, you will learn so much about what this future road is going to look for you as a homeschool mom by being a fly on the wall, even in that conversation. And so being in community with people that are ahead of you is so very important. And then the moms I have invited moms as mentors who have their kids are grown and they have graduated their children, and I have them in the group intentionally to be your mentors as well. So it's a serious this is not like I join a membership and I throw some worksheets at you. Like that's not who I am. I can't do a group like that. So because we need to dig deep. We need to dig deep and do the work to make this homeschooling journey really life-giving for us.
Woolen Flaxmaid says, can we have a topic for homeschooling middle schoolers? There's such a different ballgame.
Yes, I think that's already in there. Do we have it already in there?
I'm not sure.
Write a note just in case it isn't. I feel like I put preschool, early elementary, upper elementary. I feel like I did put those topics in there.
Okay,
but if not, we will. Yes, thank you.
And we should wrap.
Oh no, we need to wrap up. Okay.
Audrey says, Audrey Donovan. Thanks for being patient, Audrey. I'm moving to a state that requires yearly standardized testing to be reported to superintendent.
Yes.
How can I homeschool without worrying about state standards but make sure my kids pass?
You don't need to worry about state standards, and they don't need to pass. You don't need to. You just do the test and you turn the test in. Yeah. I have never known a single parent where the government came after them because their kid didn't do well on a standardized test. For all the government knows, your kid is special needs and can't perform well on those tests. So that's an overreach. If the government was to somehow, which they don't do, HSLDA comes after government officials who try to do this, and it's very, very rare. They can't legally do that. That's an overreach. It's just legislation to make sure parents stay legal and that they can track the kids who are homeschooled. So do not worry about those standardized tests one bit. Girl, you educate your kids how you want to. You educate your kids how they need to be educated. And you just do that test every year and you just turn that freaking thing in. Okay? I promise. I've never known. You would be the very first person that would somehow like get in trouble for that. I've never even known it. And if you did, you would be on the phone with HSLDA, and their lawyers with claws would literally be making the fight for you in under 24 hours. That's how HSLDA works.
And Shelby from the beginning of the session says, before you leave, can you comment on Acellus Academy? Are you familiar?
No, I have not used Acellus. Is it a traditional?
It is traditional online.
Yeah.
It's very much like K-12.
Yeah. Okay. So Scott worked with it a lot at our center. It's very much tradition. He's saying it's very much traditional homeschooling at home, like K-12.
Traditional school at home. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So those programs, they can be a fit, but just really be careful because they can also burn you out. Okay?
It's late.
Oh my gosh, it's so late, but I'm having so much fun. Go to my link if you want to homeschool with me. Go to my link and check out what it means to be a founding member. If you join, I have an immediate gift for you and for Christmas. And I can't wait to meet you in there, okay? Love you guys. I'm so sorry I couldn't get to every question. It's another reason why I started the community, because I want to be able to get to every question. So I love you guys. Have a great night, and I'll see you next time, okay? All right. Bye.